Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back with another vlog, and this is a more traditional vlog. I'm just going to be telling you about things that I've done, sharing some of my life with you because some of you seem to be interested in that, and hopefully there's some cool information on upcoming music tours that you should definitely go see, but we are going to get to that. Before we get to that, if you are new to this channel or if you watch my content but you're not a subscriber, do as the shirt says and subscribe. Of course, thanks to Glenn Fricker for such an awesome shirt, which I try to wear in as many videos as possible and get that message across. You've even started leaving it in the comments box, which is awesome. Anyway, so I have just got back from Download Festival. Now, when I say just got back, I mean just got back. Like, I've not done anything else. I've not even had the chance to bath yet. I have been in a field for the last 4 days doing the Download rock, metal, festival thing, and I thought it would be fun to give you a quick rundown of some of the things that went on. And to be honest, my experiences camping using their RIP, which I guess is kind of a spin on the VIP service. It's a luxury camping thing, just to see whether I think that it's worth the additional cost, because obviously it is more costly than the standard camping tickets. So I guess this will be useful for people in future years if you are looking to go to Download Festival, whether or not you might want to fork out the extra money for that RIP feature. Anyway, so the bill this year, I've talked about this on the podcast, of course, but the bill this year essentially included Guns N' Roses and Ozzy Osbourne. That was enough for me to buy a ticket. I assumed many more bands would be announced that I would be desperate to see. Unfortunately, that didn't really happen. Avenged Sevenfold with the other headline act, not really my cup of tea anymore. I mean, I love the City of Evil album, but not so much my thing. Meshuggah are playing, which was excellent. Tesseract were playing. I was really keen to check out Tesseract. Pliny were playing. Baby Metal, I wanted to check out Baby Metal. Marilyn Manson was playing again. Not a fan, but it would be, just cool to see an icon of that kind of era of rock and metal. Very cool to check him out live. So, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, not all that many things that I really wanted to see. But, of course, there are other things at a festival. Lots of nightlife experiences. And I'm a big wrestling fan. For anyone that has watched my channel, you will have seen many wrestling t-shirts. So to, be able to catch some live wrestling, some NXT stuff is always good fun. I forked out for the RIP package, and the reason I did this is because, guys, I'm getting old. I'm 30 this year. I'm 30 in a few months, and I can't bear the thought of slumming it in a field anymore, not showering for 4 days, and having disgusting toilets that aren't really fit for animals. Sorry if that offends you. That's just the truth of the matter, to be honest. I'm not even ashamed of it. So we threw down the extra money for the RIP camping experience. What this gives you is access to the festival arena area via your own private entrance. You have a quiet campsite with flushing toilets and hot showers, which, so it's less of a camping experience, more of a kind of, it's on the way to glamping. But yeah, to be honest, I like the idea of the flushing toilets. That's essential for me. Privacy and a warm shower, very important. And apparently access to the arena via your own little entrance. Access to the guest area, which is for, press and the likes of that. So hopefully a little bit more privacy, because we're talking, 100,000 people at a festival like this? It's a lot of people. So to be honest, the question of is it worth the money is a very, very difficult one to answer, because money is worth different things to different people. If you earn £10 million a year, forking out an extra £200 on your ticket to have this camping option, sure, not that big an issue, right? But if you're on a tighter budget, what you're getting in terms of value for that might not be up your street. For me, it was justifiable because of the hygiene and the toilety thing. That's I'm not even ashamed to admit that. That's just who I am now. As I say, I'm getting old. To be honest though, if you're after the more traditional festival experience, the RIP situation is pretty poor. And the reason I'm saying it's pretty poor is because if you look at the map that I have on screen now, you can see the RIP camps are right down in the southwest of the kind of festival area. And the village, which is where all the nightlife, all the goings on really happens, that's all the way up in the northeast, on the other side of the actual, main arena part. So if you go down on the Wednesday or the Thursday, which is before the arena opens, before any of the music's on, you are a very long way away from anything that's actually happening. And when I say a long way, I mean a long way. You're talking at least an hour if you want to walk. There is a shuttle bus, not on the first 2 days. And on the days when there is a shuttle bus, you can be waiting up to 40 minutes to get on one of these shuttles. And even then, the walk from your campsite to where the shuttle bus is probably half an hour anyway. So all in all, if you're going for that side of things, it's a write-off. I wouldn't even consider it. We were looking forward to going and doing Doom Yoga and also checking out the cinema and just having some of those experiences. And to be honest, we just wrote that off immediately because it's such a trek to get out there. In fact, on the first night when we did go up there, we figured it would be easy to get back. When we left the village and asked the staff, how do we get back to the RIP camping areas? They had no idea what we were talking about. And that's a problem with a festival this big. It seems the staff seem to just be there so they can get a free ticket for download. It doesn't really seem that any of them really care in the slightest. They're just doing a job and they just stand where they're told to stand and give the little bit of information that they're told to give, maybe checking a bracelet or whatever. Asking them about how do I get to a campsite, just ludicrous the amount of misinformation we were given. People didn't know where it was. And when I eventually worked out by looking at the map, well, obviously we have to go this way. And we were trying to get past people. They're like, no, you can't go this way. In the end, I just went, mate, look, it's late. I'm tired. Get out of my way. I'm going to my campsite. It's a long walk from here. And when I say a long walk, it was, again, the best part of 50 minutes past that point before we'd get back to our campsite. Walking on a main road, an A road. There was no lighting whatsoever. And to be honest, there was a lot of guesswork as to whether or not we were going in the right direction. Totally not a safe experience. So that would need to be sorted out. There needs to absolutely be a shuttle bus that takes you from the RIP camping areas up to the village. Aside from that, though, we had a great festival experience. In the end, we never went back to the village, which meant I couldn't pick up my pre-ordered cold Carlsberg cans, so they lost out on my money there. Because again, it would just be ridiculous to go all the way up to this village and then all the way back down just to put some cold cans in your tent, which are going to be warm by that point anyway. But in terms of the bands, this is where things are interesting. Guns N' Roses, a band I've always wanted to see with this particular lineup with Slash. They weren't great. They got great. They played for the best part of 3 hours, and it was towards that final hour where they really started to be on it. But prior to that, Axl's voice is just Axl's voice. But to be honest, Slash was kind of the same. It's like he was getting warmed up. By the time they hit Night Train was incredible. But that wasn't doing a whole lot for me, which I'm a bit disappointed about. I got to catch up with a couple of friends there. I got to see Andy James again and talk with him for a while, and I enjoyed it more than Andy did. Andy was very critical of it, but he had very good points. It's the same thing that I'm saying there. For me, the third hour was enough. Ozzy Osbourne on the final night, of course, incredible. Zakk Wylde absolutely knocked it out of the park. And to be honest, Ozzy himself was doing quite well. There were definitely moments you could hear auto-tune, or at least I believe I could hear the auto-tune kicking in. He played for the best part of 2 hours, and there was quite a long section in the middle where just the band played through sections of classic Ozzy songs without vocals, like a guitar solo section thing. So he didn't really perform for the full length of that, but it was a great show. Zakk absolutely killed it, and I did like the fact that he was wearing a kilt. So I was going to say Viva Scotland, but that's not really a thing. But very cool to see that. But to be honest, the hot pick, actually, let's not do the hot pick just yet. A couple of other great bands that I caught. I saw Pliny. Unfortunately, Pliny were on they finished right when Guns N' Roses came on. So virtually no one was there in the grand scheme of things. The tent was pretty empty. And before those guys, who was on before? Napalm Death were on before those guys, and the tent was absolutely packed. And then when Pliny came on, it was pretty dead, which I felt really bad for them for, because they put on a pretty good set. It was a very good set. I did enjoy a lot of it. So that was a shame. Baby Metal didn't really do that much for me in the end. Unfortunately, Meshuggah is Meshuggah. Let's jump onto the big one. So the big one, I caught Tesseract on the first night. They were on at the same time as Avenged Sevenfold, and again, I didn't really want to see Avenged Sevenfold. That was more for my wife. I went to go see Tesseract on my own. And guys, if you're unfamiliar with Tesseract, Of course, you need to check their music out. They're great. But if you're looking for a live show to go and see, you have to go and check out Tesseract. They put on an incredible live show. The audience were absolutely into it. Everything about it was awesome. Amazing. Great performers. They got a great light show down, which adds to the experience. The sound was brilliant, and I guess that's just what comes from being guys that are really, really into production. So, yeah, if you get the chance to see Tesseract, please do go and check them out. I am going to see them. They're in Glasgow on the 29th of November. They're doing a tour. It's on screen, as you can see, with Between the Buried and Me and Pliny. So that's going to be awesome if you're in the UK. Bristol, Manchester, Glasgow, Birmingham, London, and then Dublin. Check out their website and see if you can see any other dates closer to you. Absolutely go and check them out. Those guys are absolutely awesome. And if anyone out there knows any of the guys in Tesseract and they want to do something on this channel, like a Mandates with Guitar Greats, hit me up, because I'd be really interested in talking to those guys, because they were cool. Lastly, I'll give you the rundown of what I really did at the festival, and this is kind of sad. I spent a lot of my time watching wrestling, as you can see from some of the clips on screen now. That was good fun. Mainly because I was in a tent and hidden from the sun, and as you can see from my slightly red face, I don't do well in the sun, unfortunately. Another highlight was being in the guest area, sitting on a lovely couch, having very cold beers and not having to queue up for hours in order to get them, feeling in no rush to get anywhere and just enjoying time with friends. Great selection of food, of course. It's a festival. Anything they cater to, absolutely anything and everyone. My wife is a vegetarian. The friend that I was with is, we'll say, flexitarian. She eats meat once a week maybe. So those two were well catered for, and there was plenty of options for me. And surprise, surprise, I like to eat. Thing I enjoyed the most though, probably just sitting for an hour and having my hair cut. I mean, it looks dreadful now because I'm a disaster and I've not had the chance to do any styling after a 4.5 hour drive back today. But yeah. Apparently that's something people do, get their hair cut at festivals. I looked at the situation when I got there. Why are people having their hair cut at a festival? Eventually my wife was like, you should go and get your hair done. And I thought, well, why not? That'll be an experience, I guess. And they did a great job, and it was nice to kind of relax and just have a conversation with people. Anyway, I won't bore you with any more conversation on this stuff. Hopefully that answers some of your questions on download experience if you are looking to go RIP. Would I go RIP again? I think ultimately it would have to depend on what the lineup was. I was a little bit disappointed with the lineup. Again, that's my age. I'm just looking at this list of bands and I don't know who any of them are because I'm an old grumpy man. If the lineup is great and you're going to get a lot of time seeing things that you're interested in, then, you know, to me it's totally worth it. If you want to go the student route or the young guy, the drugs, the drink, and the almost dying in a field thing, then just camp with the normal guys. That'll be fine. I like a campsite that has to be quiet after 1 o'clock because everyone on it is an old person. So yeah, what do you guys think? Have you seen Tesseract live? What did you think of them? What do you think of their new album, Sonder? Let me know in the comments section below. I guess I should also say, have you been to Download Festival, other festivals, you know, any conversation? Get talking with me in the comments section below. Lastly, I just want to extend a huge debt of gratitude to these people over here. Some of my patrons over on patreon.com. These guys allow me to keep doing what I do. So thank you very much for that, guys. If you'd like to be like those guys, you can check me out on Patreon by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe by clicking this little button down here, and you will see 2 more of my videos here and here. Thanks so much for the support, guys, and I will see you for another video soon.